no secret that OmniBar is a requirement for you to use if you want to be high rated in Arena. It tells you everything, which in the right hands means you can literally never be caught by surprise. Well, that's if you're capable of keeping track of everything it's telling you while also playing the game itself. The best players have no problem doing this, of course. They use OmniBar in a way where they are literally just tracking every single cooldown the enemy has, and then cross-referencing this with what CDs their party has, and finally what cooldowns they have. It is like fitting together pieces of a puzzle in real time to figure out where the game is headed. But these pros play an insane amount of games to where Arena is second nature to them. For everyone else who is trying to abuse OmniBar just like the pros, instead of getting all of the useful information they need at all times, instead, they get a lot of icons popping up on their screen, which just adds to the chaos and confusion, adding very little value to their performance in Arena. If we had to rate the difference between the usefulness of OmniBar for pro players, it's an easy 10 out of 10. But for most other players, it doesn't stretch too much further than tracking interrupts and a few big cooldowns, rating it around a 5 out of 10. So what's the solution? How do we get to 10? Don't add everything the pros are using to your OmniBar until you get better and better at both tracking cooldowns and knowing how to use that information. Start out with the must-haves to keep your UI clean and digestible, and then over time keep adding spells you want to track as you go along. If you're a melee player, you can skip past this phase, but the very first thing you want to start tracking are interrupts. The game is literally unplayable as a caster if you don't know when you can freely cast, and this is the first thing that you'll want to begin tracking when installing OmniBar. Once you get the hang of that, you'll want to track the biggest defensive cooldowns for every class so you can perfect your kill timings. And then when you get the hang of these, you can start to add setup cooldowns like HOJ, blind, horror, and so on. Then you can optionally track the most deadly abilities, so the biggest damage cooldowns for every class, so you can plan your response ahead of time. This may sound counterintuitive versus just adding everything at once and getting used to it, but when you start to crave more information, there's nothing stopping you from enabling those cooldowns on your OmniBar. The craving is a sign that you're ready to add it, and over time you will gradually build a UI that scales with your knowledge and skill in Arena. Check out SkillCap for more tips.